Basava, for those who do not know who Basava is, which is impossible. Uh, Basava is a graphic design studio founded back in 1997 here in Barcelona. It's been a reference point for design and creativity. Basava has been known for their work for example, right, like the Barça t-shirt typography, and of course Adobe, ZYHP. Bruno, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself properly for the audience today.
Yeah, of course. Do you want me to jump in? Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. As Natalie said, we are kind of old studio. We are already 24 years in the game since we started in '97. We are a graphic design studio and branding a, a very wide approach. We almost do everything. We are not specialized in any specific field, but you can say that we can say and we can do anything. We do branding, we can do motion graphics, we can do 3D illustration, editorial design, digital, everything. We do everything in house. We have a lot of very talented people around. We are almost like 25, 30 people. It depends of the moment, and our specialty is that we want to output great work. We don't care about it. It's a very small client or if it's a huge client. What we can do with every project is to learn something new, and it has to be something that really challenges. For example, in these two projects that you can see in the screen right now, one is very small. It's a book, but it's a
Yes,
very
let's check it
special
out.
project because it's a small edition for the Spanish editorial, and it's about the music scene of the last 10 years in Spain, and how the urban music, the trap, the reggaeton, and all these new styles and genres have taken by storm the musical scene and have renovated the generation of musicians that are really making their print into the history of
Beautiful.
music in Spain. And it's very interesting book. It's like, for us, it's like a super small project because there's not like a big budget and anything like that. But we really love to do this kind of things, no? Because we made the book also very addressed for the young generations, and it's not
Mm.
like pages and pages of text. It's very well balanced with a lot of different graphics and taking a lot of inspiration from the internet memes, aesthetics, and that. So it's very interesting to do. And on the other hand, the second project that we have is Bancolombia, which is a project that we have been working on like for 2 years, and it's the rebranding for the group, the biggest banking group in Colombia, and that has presence in 4 different countries, and it's been a really challenging project when many people involved with a lot of deliverables, since the brand architecture to visual systems to every single aspect of the brand expression. No? So this is a little bit the two extremes, no, that define the kind of work we do. Is like from like super big international things to very small local things. But this is how we like to work and face the work.
Beautiful. And for Tim just shared the Behance for Basava for everyone to join and follow and check out more of their work. Bruna, I know you've been involved in past portfolio reviews. So we are going to be, before we jump in, reviewing portfolios from incredible people that sent their work. Unfortunately, we cannot have everyone in 1 hour, so we had to do some kind of selection. So you've been doing portfolio review in the past, and just kind of wanted your perspective on it. Like, what kind of things do you look for in a project and a work, so you can be able to properly give an advice to the artist?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is to see something that is well structured, that really explains well the project behind. When it comes to the single project itself, I there's some tips and some things that really attract me and I value a lot. No, First of all, is that you have to understand what are the insights of the project. It cannot be just a selection of images. It has to be something else. You have to share the insight of how did it started, what were the challenges on this project, how was your solution, and how was the challenge that it has in, and finally, what was your solution and how did you come up with ideas. Also, sharing parts of the process is also interesting, and to see some behind the scenes of how you achieve to do some of the stuff. And also the way you present it, it has to combine images, but it's good to have some text that really explains what's going on, and it really explains what are the little details, and it supports the visuals. And one thing that I really hate when I see a portfolio is when I see mockups that are all over the world and people sharing the same mockups, and you see the same bridge of London in all portfolio of everyone. So something that I really encourage to the people to do is to build your own mockups, and it's very easy. You only have to be focus on when you walk and you see interesting wall, or you see interesting billboard, or you have a blank book like this, and you take a picture of it. So take a picture, build your own mockup, and your project will be more singular, and it will not be looking like the same as other profiles. So that's a pro tip that I really appreciate, and I think many people think like me.
Amazing. And for example, in terms of project description, how much text should they get involved? I know it's hard to not being able to explain to the world out there what the project is all about unless like you're doing a proper presentation of it. So any
Mm-hmm.
tips in regards of that, like the text, the description, how much input there should be involved in there? Anything that you can share with us?
Yeah, I think it's impossible to set up a specific length for the text, but I think you need the necessary text, the specific text to be able to understand what are you seeing. Uh,
Yeah.
Of course, you need like a little profile with the specifics, like the name of the client, the date, the deliverables, maybe the people involved, the credits, that kind of things. And then you have to have like some introduction to what is the project about, and then. As I said before, the explanation, what was the challenge, what was your solution. But then you have to have like small chunks of text. Don't do like a super crazy long text, because this has not to be a essay or like a university paper. It has to be something that really supports the image. It's something that it gives, even if it's only like captions on the pictures, that would be enough. But it helps you a lot to understand the context of everything, and it really helps to really establish a better idea of what you have seen in your mind, and to remember that project as well.
Yep. Amazing. So as I mentioned, we want to thank everyone who sent in their portfolios. Unfortunately, we were not able to review everyone in 1 hour, so we have a selection of 5 today. So yeah, let's jump into it. We have Marion Trigant. I hope I'm saying it in French, so I'm sorry, Marion, if that's not the correct
Sounds
way.
beautiful.
So Marion, she's based in the UK. I know she's watching us today on the chat. So hello.
Hello, Mario.
And so Marion is a graduate in the School of Applied Arts at a distance. She's passionate about art, graphics, and more particularly illustration. So as we can see here, we have illustration, we have some branding. Maybe we can jump into the first project, which is the social media illustration inspiration seams brand. Let's see. And apologies in advance, it might be a bit too slow, but we're gonna make it.
Okay.
So Seams is a cosmetic brand specializing in hand care. Its designer, a graduate of London College of Fashion. So I understand that these social media assets were done for the brand itself, which is called Seams. Just gonna go through it here, Bruno. Stop me whenever you want.
Yep.
Here we have a mock-up of how the social asset is looking like. So this is pretty interesting because not only we're gonna be, talking about the portfolio in general, but also kind of like specifying the project and also like getting the social media aspect of it because I know that social media is a challenging thing because you need to create the right asset.
Yeah.
There are different viewers out there. There's the algorithm from another side. So yeah.
Yeah, and nowadays every project requires assets for social media, so it's okay to feature on your project, especially if it's kind of like a branding project like this for the cosmetics. Also, I like a lot the idea with the hands and the hands that really fits very well, no, with the idea of Sims with the naming. They are beautifully drawn, and it's very difficult to draw the hands in a proper way because it's kind of anatomically even if you do very stylized hands it's very complicated, so I really appreciate how this is done and how they interact with the thread and this thing, I don't know the name in English, el dédalo, but
Yeah.
it el dedal, it's very cool. Also, yeah, it's interesting the color palette, like very soft, very beauty industry I could fitting with that. I mean,
Yeah.
and it looks like that is something that is a constant, no, on her work. No, she's working with like very pastel and soft, warm colors, which
Yeah.
is interesting because it gives a sense of like cohesive style and yeah, it's very cool. Also, there's other projects related to beauty industry, which is cool. It's cool if you find a niche or a category of the market where your work really fits in. It's a good thing to explore it and to work with different brands of this industry because it can really help you to develop a career, no, and develop a style and your skills will be getting better, no, in this kind of field. So I think it's
Yeah.
very interesting.
Exactly. I feel like there is a target audience here, specific target audience, right? Because we were, like you mentioned, there's the cosmetic projects. There's like this kind of like natural vibe to it. So yeah, I can also, we have her Instagram over here, which is more like very in-depth illustrations. Apparently she just upload, I'm seeing here on the chat, apparently she just uploaded the project, so let's see if we can fit this in. Okay, bombs and soap cosmetic. Okay. Very, very spa-like. Let's see. Wow. Shower bomb and soap illustrations. The
Yeah,
traction.
I think this portfolio is bringing me a lot of scents and aromas. It's something that I can even smell it. You know, it's really projecting me this feeling. No, like when you get into the cosmetic shop and you are like overwhelmed with the surrounding smells of the product. It really
Yeah.
projects that idea, which is really cool, no? Because it's the
Yeah.
kind of clients and the kind of projects that she's developing. Yeah,
This is
I'm really into these colors. I really
amazing.
like the mood that they have.
Yeah, and I think it's a good sign, right? Like, as you're seeing the illustration, and then you're also like feeling the senses, right? And the kind of getting like a perspective behind the project without even like having to read about it. So So yeah, great job, Marion. Thank you so much for sending us your portfolio. Now moving on to Sandrine. Sandrine is our biggest fan. We've had her on the chat for a long time now, joining us. So let's get into it.
Okay, cool.
Sandrine is a photo retoucher and a graphic designer. Let's enter her website. Maybe we can check her Behance as well. Maybe that's easier. So
Okay.
let's do that. So Sandrine is a photo editor and graphic designer under the name of Imaginary. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Imaginary in English. So she participated in the 36 Days of Type. That's interesting. I know that Basaba has been part of it, right, Bruno?
Yeah, but we haven't participated the Asbasaba the last years. We have like a troll account, which is called
Oh,
Kerning Spacey. And
okay.
because it's too much the work to do the 36 letters. So what we did is like 3 years ago we were too busy, so we create this troll account, Kerning Spacey, and we just assign to the people in the studio a couple of letters, so it's easier to do it. No? And
Oh,
we try to do like the crazy things. It's very inconsistent because everyone is doing what they want, but this is more fun to do it this way. You are not stressed at all. Like I have to do 36 letters. I only have to do two. So I'm going to make something that is really fun, and I'm going to have a lot of fun by doing it. Yeah, yeah.
amazing. Well, looking forward to see Kerning account. What is it called? Kerning?
Kerning Spacey.
Kerning Spacey. Okay, let's see
Yeah,
Kerning Kevin Spacey.
yeah, yeah. If you can look at the highlighted stories, that is the making of, which is very fun.
Okay, let's do that. Amazing. So for those who do not know, 37 days project is one character per day, 36 letters, 10 numbers, and the ampersand. So we're seeing here Sandrine's approach to, and I know that Basaba does lots of lettering. So I'm really interested to see your thought on this one, Bruno.
Yeah,
The whole
it
grid, each letter was drawn by hand in Illustrator, then made as a 3D model in Photoshop and rendered in Adobe Dimension. Wow.
Wow, it's very interesting workaround for the process because it's really interesting how the letters are built. Um, Probably they lack of some structure or some similarity between them. It's like some inconsistent parts, but the actual look and feel is very interesting, and the way she has presented is very cool as well. It looks like plating, no, like food plating, on these white discs, and yeah, and this metal texture is very well done. The material is very interesting. The shader she has used, and I think the initial drawing is very cool as well. This Art Nouveau feeling of the letters is quite cool. Maybe it has in the final letters. I miss some of the swashes that she had on the first sketches, but
Mm.
overall is cool, and yeah, and you see that there's a lot of time invested in the project. But that's a cool thing. You invest a lot of time doing things, and you get a result out of it. And I'm sure she has learned many things and during the process, which is cool.
Wow, we see some packaging here. That's the my Pantone book cover.
My
Apologies
Pantone
again
book.
for the slowness. Pantone box. I was always
Okay.
very annoyed that my Pantone book couldn't have a box, so I made it one virtually, but planning to spruce up my cardboard cutting skills to make a real one. Okay, so it's fine. I guess we can comment on the rendering of this. So that's interesting. So making
Yeah,
you should pitch that, Sandrine, for Pantone.
yeah, and it's very useful actually because the Pantone books are degraded with the light with the sunlight, and they
Yeah.
become useless after a few years. So if you have it protected on a cardboard box like this, they will have a longer useful life. So it's a very good idea to do that. And yeah, as you said, to sell it to Pantone. Yeah.
Maybe one more for Sandrine. Let's see. Interested to see more of her. Stop me whenever you want, Bruno. Just going through it.
Ye- Uh, yeah, probably let's say something related to photo edition or retouch. I guess.
This one. Wildflowers.
Yeah, for example.
Okay. Amazing. Photography project using flowers readily available. Imperfect, bruised, wild, and still beautiful. Wow. I love the high definition of this.
Yeah.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, I'm seeing here, like, I like the fact that it's very real. Like we're not just seeing perfect flowers, we're also seeing like this branch, if that's the correct word for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're cool. But something that sometimes I see on some portfolios is that they are very young and they haven't still decided what is the branch where they want to specialize. So they mix many things, like graphic design with photography or with photo retouching. Or sometimes I think it's better to have two different profiles and have
Mm,
one more focus on photography and photo editing, and have another one more specific for graphic design and 3D, and because it will be leaving a more clear idea to the visitor of what are your skills, and you
yeah.
don't have to show everything on just one portfolio. Sometimes it's
Mhm.
better to have like different profiles, because it's going to be stronger than if you have like too many different things.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. That's a really interesting advice because at the end you're also looking, I mean, yeah, of course you have a Behance portfolio or your portfolio for your passion projects, but you're also having this to get clients basically, to be straightforward. So definitely I agree. Like you do want to showcase the different style that you can do, but at the same time have a consistency in it.
Hmm.
But yeah, beautiful project. And yeah, I mean, there's so much variety here in Sandrine's work. So yeah, good to navigate in there. Thank you, Sandrine, for sharing with us your portfolio. Up next, we have Nandu Vijayan. And sorry if I'm not saying this correctly, but please apologize on that one. I don't know if Nandu's watching us now, but of course, let's jump into it. Nandu is from India, and we don't have a proper description here. We have an Instagram. So, oh, he's a VFX artist, according to his Instagram, under construction.
Under
So,
construction. And I guess he has participated on 36 Days of Type as well, isn't it?
looks like it. Looks like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I
Amazing.
think he's experimenting with many different styles.
Yeah.
And yeah, like vectors. I wonder if are those animated or is it statics?
Let's see. I don't think
Yeah,
no
they
otherwise
look
you
statics.
yeah.
Yeah, because as they are very figurative, I really imagine them like animated, no, quite easily.
Yeah,
That would be
exactly.
a good step to go forward and do, like try to get this in motion. And,
Yeah,
maybe that could be your challenge for the next 36 days of time.
yeah,
And
definitely. And then here we have also another variety of project. Maybe we can get into the latest one, branding. So maybe it's interesting. Let's talk about branding. Maybe we can understand the context behind. Well, it looks like it's a shoes brand.
Okay. Yeah, it definitely is not lying. You have a shoe and it says shoe, so it's a shoes brand. This is not this is not
Oh.
cheating anyone. So it's Herod. I wonder if it's a real project, or if it's a school project, or it's a self-initiated project, or maybe, yeah.
Oh,
But
it's actually interesting, Bruno. So let's say it's not a real project. Is it interesting to not mention that in your portfolio? So maybe perhaps clients can be under the
no,
impression that no, okay.
no. I think you have to be honest always. If
Yeah,
it's a real project, I'm missing here, as we said before, some text that really puts
yeah,
me in context and tell me, okay, Herod brand hire me to do blah 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 because they blah 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 and they want to create a brand, for example. And okay, I would understand and I would judge it in like in real life. And I know there's a client, there's a lot of people like breaking your balls, trying to get something that maybe is not your vision, but then you get an idea. If it's a self-generated project and it's something that you do for fun and for learning and to show your skills, then I want to know it as well because I know that have no restrictions on that and you are going to do your best, really your best on this. And it's important because it's something that it's going to give me some tips to how to measure how deep is your knowledge and your talent. And so I think you have to be always honest and always be clear about what kind of project are you showing.
yeah. And that's really good advice for everyone. I mean, I thought it would be a trick, but now I understand that yeah, you have to always be honest. And here let's get 36 dot 2021. Nandu. I hope there's some. I can't hear the background music, but I hope Tim put some background music so there's no
Or
awkward
is,
silence.
is it? It's not me. Maybe your neighbors are having a party there or what? Good music at least.
Oh, so this is the project for 36 days. Yeah. So you guessed it right, Bruno, from the Instagram. But yeah, definitely, Nandu, we invite you to animate these. Get your under construction gone from your from your profile, so we can see some animated things from your side. This is absolutely beautiful. It could be so interactive on so many levels. So
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And I think, sorry,
Go ahead. Sorry.
I feel like there should be also a storytelling piece right behind the art. Like, yeah, definitely, this is great work. But like you said in the beginning, we're missing some text. Maybe it would be nice to have a description behind every letter that he created, because I'm seeing here lots of elements that he used. It could be a story.
Absolutely. Yeah. 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 Like, yeah, something explaining. Okay, I challenge myself to have like a different style on every letter because this, because that. No, that would be interesting
Yeah.
to know to have this insight from the artist. Yeah.
Amazing. So that's Nandu. Thank you, Nandu, for sending us your portfolio. I hope you'll be able to see some of the advice that Bruno shared with us either today or when you replay the session. And I have here Francisco Modesto, which he's mentioning on the chat that he has sent. Unfortunately, I cannot access the link, Francisco, here. So we're gonna have to go through the website or the Instagram. So not sure if Tim, are you able to share that in the chat? Sorry, technical problem over here. So let's see. Francisco Modesto he's based in Porto, creative director and graphic designer. Um, the website is under construction, but in the meantime, you can follow us. You can follow his work on Instagram. So let's go through the Instagram. Francisco is under the name of the Chico Studio. We can check here one of the projects that he has. So, yeah, so here we're seeing more like Instagram post, but it's been like the assets he's done for an exhibition, maybe with 86 artworks from 86. Oh, okay, sorry. So he was part of this exhibition. So apologies, let's move on. I don't know which project should we go on. Is this reached the end of Love Letters to Porto?
I think
Let's
overall, like at first sight, you see that it's like a fresh graphic designer. Like everything is very trendy, and it's a language like very contemporary.
yeah.
What you wonder is what happens in Porto. Why is there's so many good graphic designers in Porto? I mean, we used to we had during like 3 4 years here Rita Goulau and Miguel Mesquita, which are awesome designers, and they're both from Porto.
Nice.
And I remember also she's not from Porto, she's from Lisbon, but Inés Ayer, you remember that she was on the off academy, and it's like wow, there's a lot of like relevant people now doing interesting things in Portugal, especially in Porto. No, I really. Not surprised, but I'm really amazed of the kind of things I'm seeing from there, and also the 36 days of type. I mean, is three of three, in three portfolios, and the three have participated on that. Is good. How growth is the project. They have grown a lot, and how all the community is participating on it, and I really. I'm really happy to see it. No, I'm following since the first edition, a very long time ago. We even had the exhibition in here in our studio like 3 years ago,
Wow.
and yeah, I'm really happy to see how long is their shadow.
Amazing. Yeah, definitely. Shout out to all the Porto-based designers. I know that there's a very big talented community over there. So, and I feel like, so apparently this is a show reel from Francisco's, which is pretty. I don't know if we're able to do that. Let's see. So this is like the show reel of his work. I can see here that he's kind of like using different color palettes. I know that this is stuck for now. It's stuck, right? It's not playing. Mm-mm. Yeah.
Yeah, this is interesting how these like big shapes with these supreme ice cream textures are working on screen. No, like super nice,
Spot on.
very creamy, noisy ice cream textures. I love it.
Beautiful. We can't wait to see this on your Behance portfolio, Francisco. Thank you so much for sending us, and apologies if we cannot access to your link last minute. So, but yeah, I hope you got something out of this amazing session from Bruno, and yeah, can't wait to see the final website in the future. And then we're up to our last and one and only Rachel Presky. She's been a guest on Adobe Live sessions for the past I don't know how many times now, Rachel. So Rachel is an illustrator, and we're on her website, and you can see Bruno like how fun, interactive, and playful her work is. And I feel like here we can see some consistency, right? What do you think?
Yes, yeah, yeah, it's very interesting, very up to date, very contemporary style. I love this like recent trend that has happened now with characters and how they have turned into these like super distorted bodies with small heads and big limbs and like non-normative bodies and like super diverse representation of people. I think before we were in a having like a long time of like illustration that was like too realistic, too detailed, and now there's like a new generation of illustrators that are really working with the human body in a more interesting way. Like I really love this kind of style, and also I think there's a very well thought out color palettes, which
Yeah.
is something that I really like. It's very earthy colors, very natural. It is something that really fits well with her style.
Yeah.
And
Maybe we
yeah,
can talk in specific about one project so we can have some nice critical feedback from your side. So I understand that, when you work, when you have a project for a client or for a big brand, of course you have your style, but then you also have to adapt to their brandings
mhm.
and this could be like a contrast. So maybe we can, in this project specifically, which is a beautiful project because it was commissioned by the British Red Cross to create 3 empowering portraits of Sudanese leaders for International Women's Day. So, what are your thoughts overall? Here we have, and I love how even the lettering and the typography that she used. Oopsie. The Creative
Boom!
Cloud
Your
is getting
your laptop is going to explode. Yeah, yeah,
definitely.
it's interesting. It's interesting how she has taken her style of illustration to the typography itself. So you don't have like a cold Sharpie typeface, but everything is like texture, and it has this hand drawn feeling. Also, I believe that the portrait itself is very minimal, but the elements are there. The most important is the expression of the face. Is like it's super expressive. It really gets to the point. You really connect with the character, which is interesting, and it's a more challenging thing, no, on a portrait to make something that it doesn't need to be realistic. It just has to connect with you, which is the most important thing while drawing living things, not just the humans, but the humans especially, but living things at least. And yeah, they're very consistent between them, and they're similar, but you get the singularity of each of the characters. So yeah, it's a very well executed job.
Amazing. Let's see some real products here.
Uh,
Series of 100 illustrations
yeah,
for workout and yoga decks. So you can actually buy them if I'm not wrong, but maybe the presentation here, maybe we could have had perhaps a bigger like image to see like the right because sorry Rachel, but we're seeing here some pixelated content. So maybe right it would be nice to kind of have a closer view of the final outcome itself. But it's such a beautiful project. Workout cards. Um,
Yeah, I love the anthropomorphic animals. It's something that really work out for Disney. So why don't you keep trying it? It's always fun. Yeah, I
wow,
love it.
the are beautiful.
Yeah, and also I like the calligraphy in this as well. Like very um, um, how to say very spontaneous.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And
Amazing.
yeah, I would like to see if you go back to the main portfolio, to the main page, the dancing people on the left row. Go a little bit down.
Okay. Let's see. Ah,
Let me see.
yeah, with the masks.
Yeah,
Pause
yeah, yeah,
lockdown parties.
yeah. We were talking about this a few minutes before we start. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's nice, no? Yeah, I love the feeling that everyone has in this illustration, and how it captures the vibe, and it's like not restricted by perspective or by realism. It's just the pure expression of the dancing people. Like, okay, like we want to be alive again. So and you have like the process, no? First with masks, and now in the future, really soon, without
Looks like
masks.
yeah.
Not yet, but this is where we aiming from. I'm aiming to. So yeah, I like a lot this project.
And for instance, Bruno, what do you think of the overall presentation of Rachel's work? I know we talked about, the color palette and everything, but um, any advice on how can she probably improve, or if there's room for improvement, or what do you think? From my point of view as a viewer myself, I feel like there's some information missing that for me because I would love to learn about the projects myself.
Hmm.
Either ways, like I know that some people's work is already like expressive by just looking at it. Like for example, the post COVID the dance party or whatever. But anything from your side you would like to share on
Yeah,
how?
it's a bit the same, no? Like to have a little bit more of context on every project is going to help a lot to understand the project itself, and to have a deeper understanding, no? And sometimes also in her case, I think it would be interesting to see some making of, or some behind the
Yeah,
scenes, to see some sketching, and I really wonder how she develops her illustrations, if she does it on on the desktop, or she uses an iPad, or she do it manually. These kind of things are always interesting, and people wants to see, and it really sometimes it gives a lot of value to what you are doing and what you are presenting. So it's interesting. Even if it's something done digitally, you can have a time lapse of some of the process, which is something that really engages very well with the audience. And the text is okay, but it's just okay. This is editorial illustration for the Vacation magazine. Um, okay, I would like to know something else. Why did you make the composition like this? Why? These kind of things are interesting for the viewer, and it doesn't have to be super long, because people doesn't spend too much time on as average on any website, but a
yeah,
little bit it will be more effective. But
amazing.
anyway, it's awesome work. I really like it. So congratulations, Rachel.
Yeah, thank you, Rachel, for sharing your what portfolio website. And so I know we have a few time left. So what I would like to do in this time, Bruno, is kind of like do a whole recap on how to represent your project in the proper way. So we said that we want to see some behind the scenes. We said that it's good to have some consistency. For example, Sandrine here is asking that she wanted feedback on the presentation of her portfolio page. So yeah, that was one of your comments, where that yeah, some consistency, because there was lots of mix of beautiful work, photography, branding, illustration. So yeah, I feel like have consistency in your work, not because it's a bad thing to mix everything together, but just like Bruno said, having different pages for every
Yeah.
category.
And also, if you, sorry for interrupting, but if you mix things together, you have to be equally strong on all of them. Sometimes you have like a good designer that he likes to take pictures as well, and they drop their vacations pictures into the portfolio, and it totally breaks the perception of the other branch of the work that probably is very good, but then unbalance everything. So it's better to, if unless you are very good on everything, do not put everything together. It's better to split it in different projects or portfolios.
Yeah, definitely. And then in terms of description, make sure that you do describe the project, a few lines, not just a whole paragraph, so this way people can read it properly. And just because, our attention span is so short these days, so
Yeah.
you have to have expressive visual, visual, sorry, and assets on it, but also like some kind of like description. So this way, the person that doesn't know about the project can learn more about it. Yeah, and so yeah, I think that we're getting to the end of our session today. It was so lovely to have you, Bruno. And for those who are asking, I know that lots of people are asking on the chat, when can they submit their work? Happy that you guys are excited for this. So we will repeat portfolio reviews hopefully in the future. And you will be able to share your portfolios on our Discord channel. So don't forget, you can keep the conversation going on our Discord channel. Actually, that Tim will share on as a link in a few. And yeah, thank you, Bruno, for joining us. That was absolutely lovely and
You're
fun.
welcome.
I
I'm
learned,
always happy to do this kind of things and also to see like fresh new work from young people.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a privilege.
yeah, I learned myself, so I can't wait for the next session for about portfolio reviews. I want to remind everyone that we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Wanted to share with you next week's schedule. It's pretty exciting, so get ready for it. Next Monday, we have character design with Monsi and Maddie as a host. It will be illustration on the iPad. And then masterclass on Wednesday. It's all about Adobe Aero with Nadine Colozzi and Susie Feta. So that's pretty exciting. I love Aero. I actually want to learn about this one. So do join us on Wednesday for this beautiful masterclass. And then next Friday we have community photography and illustration by Hazel Mead and Rachel Presky, who's actually watching us here. Hi, Rachel. Nice to have you on the chat. So yeah, so Tim, which by the way, on Friday, Tim will share with you guys on Discord how to submit your photos because we will use your photos in this session to illustrate over them. So that's gonna be exciting. And this is 12 p.m. UK time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I hope everyone has a beautiful Friday, a beautiful weekend. Thank you again, Bruno, and thank you everyone who joined us. Have a great day. Bye.